Can I interest you in $10,000? Sounds wild, right? But let me explain. Remember when an old iPhone 5S sold for over $10,000 because it still had Flappy Bird pre-installed on it after it was banned? Well, with TikTok now banned in the United States, some people are hoping that history repeats itself. Before you rush to go buy or sell an old iPhone SE with TikTok pre-installed on it, let's take a look at the things that you need to know whether you're a buyer or a seller. Are these phones really worth it, or is this just a shiny new scam?
eBay sellers are capitalizing on TikTok's uncertain future by listing phones with the app already installed for thousands of dollars.
How much would you be willing to pay to get TikTok back? Some iPhone users who never deleted the app from their phones when it went dark, well, they're now selling those same phones for thousands of dollars on eBay.
Yeah, it's still unclear when TikTok will return to the app stores, despite President Donald Trump signing an executive order to delay enforcing the ban.
It's official, TikTok is no longer available in the United States after a government ban was upheld by the Supreme Court. Apple's App Store and Google Play have removed it from their platforms, which makes phones with TikTok on it a really hot commodity right now. If you deleted the app while the ban was enforced, you're probably kicking yourself right now. And if you're looking to secure one of these phones with TikTok still on it, you're probably going to be shelling out some big bucks. Upwards of $50,000 in some cases.
$50 million?
But before you dive into this trend, here are some critical red flags that you need to know whether you're a buyer or a seller. So if you are buying a TikTok phone, here are some things to look at. Number one is the cost. Let's be honest, spending $10,000 or more to have access to an app which has content you can likely find on other platforms just doesn't make financial sense. TikTok's unique appeal may be overhyped, especially since creators like myself post similar videos across all of the platforms. And let's not forget that there's hardly a really good chance that TikTok comes back and is unbanned, making this trend a potential waste of money. Number two red flag is the potential malware and security risks. When buying an old phone, how can you be sure that it's safe? Some shady sellers could load malware onto the phone and even retain access to it after the sale. If you're not tech savvy, you might end up with something more than you bargained for, and not in the good way. Always do your homework on the seller and consider the risk when making such a big purchase. Number three critical red flag to consider is the software updates. If the phone has TikTok pre-installed on it, there's no guarantee that it will work. If the phone needs to update to run the app, but it can't connect to Apple's server, you're out of luck. If the seller doesn't offer returns, well then you're kind of stuck with a very expensive paperweight. So those are three things to keep in mind if you're going to be buying and shelling out these big bucks for an old iPhone with TikTok pre-installed on it. Now, if you're wanting to sell a TikTok iPhone, here are some things to consider before you do that. Before selling your phone, always perform a full factory reset by selecting Erase All Content and Settings. This wipes everything from photos to contacts to payment methods. It erases all of your credit and debit cards from Apple Pay. It just keeps your personal data secure. This step also turns off things like iCloud, iMessage, FaceTime, ensuring that the buyer gets a clean slate when they get the phone. Number two, which is kind of the weird, tricky part with this whole thing. If you want to leave just TikTok on the phone while removing everything else, you'll need to delete the other data manually. Talking about photos to contacts to apps, basically have to work around TikTok to make sure that you're deleting your data, but just not TikTok. This can be risky since it's easy to miss something, potentially exposing your personal information. Just keep this in mind when preparing to sell your old iPhone. If you just want to leave TikTok on there, you're going to have to delete everything else manually. Now, the number three thing you need to know is that selling online isn't easy. As of current filming, there's over 63,000 TikTok iPhone listings on eBay. The problem is only about 300 have sold, which gives that a sell-through rate of less than 1%. Translation, it's a saturated market with very few buyers. Now look, I'm a fan of a quick flip just like everybody else. I do reselling content on my channel all the time, but you literally have a better chance of buying and selling GigaChad coin and making a profit from that than selling your iPhone on eBay. But if you are so determined to sell, I would stick to local platforms like OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. Probably more likely to go up against your local market than on eBay, where everyone in the whole world is trying to sell their old iPhone right now. Hey, there is a chance that TikTok is permanently banned in the US, so if you hold on to it, it could go up and then you can sell it in just a couple years when the price is a lot higher. So the bottom line, is this trend worth chasing? Whether you're buying or selling, the risks are super high. From scams and malware to market saturation, there's a lot to consider here. At the end of the day, patience and caution are your best friends. I talk about it on the channel all the time. If you're a buyer, think twice before shelling out your hard-earned cash. And if you're a seller, please make sure to secure and manage your expectations as well as your data and information. So that's it. Everything you need to know about the TikTok iPhone craze, whether you're a buyer or a seller trying to make a quick $1,000 to $10,000. Before you jump in, ask yourself, is it worth the hype? Is it worth $10,000? Whether you're looking to cash in or stay informed, remember that scams thrive on FOMO. So always do your research and stay one step ahead. Thank you for watching. If you found any value in this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this, and I will see you on the next one.